Hi, it's Mrs. Clark. Welcome to Lesson 5 of Unit 2, Fraction and Decimal Number Sense. Today we're going to take a look at ordering those fractions and decimals. Last lesson we talked about comparing. Now we're going to get into putting them in order from least to greatest or greatest to least. Before we get started, make sure that you're ready. Do you have your math notebook and the notes you need for this video? Do I have your attention? Are you completely focused? If so, let's get started. By the end of this video, you will be able to order your fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals in both ascending and descending order. So I want you to think about everything you learned in the last lesson, because when you're ordering, you need to know how to change fractions and decimals, and you need to know to pay attention to least to greatest or greatest to least. You could put your fractions and decimals in the right order, least to greatest, but if the directions ask you to go greatest to least, you're going to get them wrong because you didn't follow the directions. So let's take a look at a number line because those can be helpful in helping us order our fractions and decimals in order. So here I have a mixed set. I have some fractions and I have some decimals. I find it easiest that when you have fractions that you know their decimal equivalency to just change all your numbers into decimals because they're easiest to compare that way. So I can change these fractions 1/4 and 1/2 to their decimal equivalency. I know that 1/4 as a decimal is 0.25, and I know that 1/2 as a decimal is 0.5. So now, as I learned in the last video, if I just line up all of my decimal points, I can clearly see which number is the smallest and which number is the largest. And then I just put them in order, least to greatest or greatest to least. So if I was doing them least to greatest, it would look like this: 1/10 and then 1/4 or 0.25, 1/2 or 0.5, and 1.25. Now they're in order from least to greatest. Let's look at another example. Here I have another mixed set of fractions, whole numbers, mixed numbers, and decimals. Do we need to convert to decimals to make this a little bit easier? I think so. So 3/4 is 0.75 or 75 hundredths. I know that 1/4 is 25 hundredths. So I could do a quick math to figure out that 3/4 is 75 hundredths. I don't need to change 1 because it's already a whole number. It's just 1. I could change my mixed number 1 and 1/3 into the decimal 1.33. And this, yes, is a repeating decimal. I don't have the line indicating it because for the sake of this problem, I don't need to know that the number goes on and on. I can just stop it as 1.33. And then I don't need to change 15 hundredths because it's already in decimal form. So now I can clearly see which decimal or fraction is the smallest, 15 hundredths. Then it would be 75 hundredths or 3/4. And then I would have my whole one, my number 1. And then finally, 1 and 33 hundredths or 1 and 1/3 would be the end if I was doing this in least to greatest. That's it. Nice and short for today, guys. So we looked at how to compare fractions and decimals like we did in our last lesson, and how to use that knowledge to apply it to ordering fractions and decimals and mixed numbers when I need to put them in order from least to greatest or greatest to least. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.